This episode of the podcast is brought to you by TripIn. TripIn is the bridge for connection and the perfect planning app for any type of trip. Get planning and collaborating today with TripIn, available on both the Apple and Google Play stores.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Scrapyard, where the conversation matters more than where we actually end up.
Today's guest is Revo Ranger, a professional wrestler for the Philippine Wrestling Revolution, and that's all the intro is gonna be because that's fucking awesome already.
Life-changing. I'm so happy you're here, man. I just wanted to say that out loud.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy to be here, guys.
That's awesome.
And what we normally do in the beginning is we start off with a positivity corner, something that's positive that's affected your life recently or the entire world. Whatever you feel like talking about that makes you feel good. So Johnny's going to start off today. What has made you feel good?
What has made me feel good? I watched episode 2 of The Mandalorian.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it was fucking awesome. It was so good.
Preach.
Oh my god, it was better than the first episode. And I loved it. It was amazing. Please go watch it.
How about you, Revo Ranger?
Oh, well, lately, I got a message from a young fan.
Yes. Awesome.
Couldn't be more than like 12 years old. Just kept
That's
asking.
awesome.
And like last show, which was in November. Oh, sorry, November. Last show that I performed in September, he came up to me and he's like, I want to lend you my power, and we can get to that later. But he lent me his power, basically, and I won the match. And later on, like, he messages me and tells me that, I can't believe that you won with my power.
Bestowed upon you.
Exactly. And he's like, hey, can you bring a shirt next time? And I want to buy it. I'm like, okay, yeah.
That's amazing.
That
is
is
amazing.
That made me happy.
Yeah, that's life-changing stuff.
Oh,
It is
man.
life-changing stuff, man. When a 12-year-old fan tells you that, you're his hero, like,
It makes you put on the mask every day, you know?
Yeah.
I already do.
Yeah, that's
Like, it's just a
awesome.
little bonus round.
Yeah.
What made my day was me and Johnny went to our friend's birthday party, Ado Inigo, our friend of 19 years.
Yep.
And we had a digital birthday party. He's studying his master's in Singapore, so his family invited 4 of his closest friends that have been friends with. We have been friends with him for a very long time. They let out the family album where it kind of showed where we all first met. We got to all hang out, and we streamed him on the side, like on a little iPhone while we had dinner.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he hung out with us the whole time.
Yeah, legit 2 hours of just chilling and talking like he's actually there.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, dude, friendship is magic.
It
Friendship is
is.
truly magic. Yeah, so before we get into the meat of today's discussion, we also have another little segment where we basically fire some questions at you.
Okay.
Yeah, and just whatever's on top of your mind, you go for it. So I'll start this one.
All right.
Ready?
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Awesome.
And go. Fuck, marry, kill. John Cena, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels.
Amazing.
Gosh, fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a wholesome character. I can't say that word.
All right. Bone.
Yeah, all right. Let's go with Bone.
All right. Who'd you bone?
I would bone Shawn Michaels because he's the sexy boy.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, he's a sexy boy.
Marry John Cena because he's very wholesome.
He is very wholesome.
Great family man.
And I mean, I love Randy Orton, but I'm afraid I have to kill him.
That hurts me. That hurts me
Alright.
to my soul. All right,
Fair
Marco,
enough.
go.
Why black and yellow for your costume?
Because it is the colors of the Philippine Wrestling Revolution.
That's
All right.
That's
Black and
cool.
yellow.
All right.
That's an icon. If Manny Pacquiao were to join the Philippine Wrestling Revolution, do you think you could take him on in a fight?
As long as he doesn't punch me in the face multiple times, yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent answer. Marco, go.
Who is your all-time favorite wrestler?
Oh man, he is from New Japan Pro Wrestling. His name is Tiger Mask.
Tiger Mask.
Tiger
Mask.
Mask.
I wonder what his mask is.
It's a tiger.
I mean, no, everything's
Uh,
intriguing.
Yeah, he has multiple generations. Like the mask has been passed down over the past 30 years. It's pretty cool.
Like
yeah.
King from
That's-
Tekken.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Exactly.
That's
like
where it
King-
comes from. That's where it comes from.
King from Tekken comes from Tiger Mask.
Oh wow,
Oh.
that's
And
even cooler.
If little tidbit here, because I'm a Tekken player myself.
Awesome.
Amazing.
King, all of his motion capture was done by a wrestler in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mm.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's actually really cool.
Oh.
Today I learned. Okay, my turn. If you could tag team with any fictional character, who would your tag team partner be?
Any fictional character?
Any fictional character.
It's got to be King from Tekken.
Oh, okay.
All right, done. We're
Fair
done.
enough. Yeah, no,
We're already
that's good.
done, dude.
No, yeah, we led up to that one. All right, Marco, one last question from you.
All right. You're fighting a girl from Tekken. Who's the first girl that would definitely kick your ass?
Man, I'm gonna give it to Josie. Josie, Philippine Pride.
Oh yeah,
Oh, she's a new one. Yeah,
she's
I
the new
didn't
one.
even reach her.
Oh yeah, the Tekken 7, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
alright.
dude, respect. Awesome.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, that was actually pretty informative. Rapid fire question segment,
Yeah, just laying down the brickwork for
Yeah.
what's to come.
which is gonna come right now.
Okay.
So, just quickly tell us everything about. My God, this is
Yeah,
just. I don't know where to
please.
start. This is amazing.
Yeah, please.
Revo Ranger, please.
Introduce yourself. Introduce the
Philippine Wrestling
Yeah,
Revolution.
Yeah,
Go
please.
for it.
Okay, great. So some background on the company. Philippine Wrestling Revolution has been here for the past, gosh, it's 2019, right? God,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
so old now.
I know.
It's been here since 2013, late
What?
2013.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's been a
so
while.
it's been about
6 years.
almost 6 years. Yeah, and we've been doing shows for pretty much that long too. So it formed in 2013 as a Facebook group
Okay.
between people that people from the Philippines that
Nice.
really loved wrestling and
Mm.
wanted to perform it. They trained under a guy from the WCW.
WCW?
Gosh,
It's the other wrestling.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say
yeah,
in
yeah.
Star World.
I
Well,
know.
Yeah.
one of the two. My facts could be a little bit messy here because I joined the company around 2015.
Okay.
So yeah, we had that, and they put on their first show in 2014, and right now it is our 5th year of programming.
Awesome.
So to
5
speak.
years strong.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's never been stronger. We had a show last October called PWR Homecoming,
Awesome.
biggest show of our history.
Amazing.
Right.
Amazing to hear.
Yeah.
And we had like people come over from overseas who were also Filipino. thus,
Wow.
Homecoming. So if anybody out there who is well versed in wrestling, we had the ex cruiserweight champion from WWE. We had
Whoa.
that his name was TJ Perkins.
TJ Perkins.
Yeah, TJP. So he's Filipino. He used to come out in the WWE with blue and red pants.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Pinoy Pride.
Pinoy Pride. Personally, I loved his character, but he dabbed too much.
He dabbed.
For me, he dabbed too much.
All
If you
right.
dab at all, you're dabbing too much.
But yeah, he was so good. He was
Awesome.
an amazing performer and competitor. We also had Jeff Cobb come in.
Okay.
And Jeff Cobb, man, like this guy is, if you would describe a bull in person form, that would be him.
Jeff Cobb is a wrestler.
Jeff Cobb is a wrestler.
Oh,
He comes
very cool.
from Impact sorry, not Impact. He comes from Ring of Honor.
Well, I haven't even heard of
And
that.
Yeah. It's
Ring of
another.
Honor.
yes,
Cool.
it's
Okay.
one of the big ones in the States.
All right.
He also wrestles
Mm.
in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He used to be a G1 champion. It's it's a tournament in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had those guys come over, and we had a lot of fun just watching them destroy our people.
Really?
That's awesome.
But yeah, we put up a fight. But they're really good wrestlers. You can tell that the international talent, is we have a ways to go.
Yeah.
But from what they say, we're getting there.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. It's amazing to hear.
Yeah. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with wrestling, could you quickly give a brief background on the sport? Because there's wrestling and there's also a wrestling like in the Olympic setting.
Yeah.
Got
Like
it,
Kurt
got it.
Angle wrestling, which is confusing because
Greco-Roman
Because
wrestling.
he
Yeah.
does both.
because he does both. So it's
He's a champion in both.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, so really quick, when it comes to wrestling, as it is now, it came from the carnies, from carnivals.
No way.
Oh, that's cool.
So the history would be, you used to have these strong men, right? Like
Yeah,
every
yeah,
circus
yeah.
there'd be a strong guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
like a bald one in tights.
Yeah, with the curly mustache, yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
And what would happen was they would bring him into the ring, into a boxing ring, and then they would charge they would have people come up into the ring.
Mhm.
So like normal bystanders, some of them plants, some of them actual people.
Yeah.
Depends on the circus. They would come in and it would be like a tournament or a competition. Competition would be the better word, because they would pay money to the guy who could beat the strongman.
Oh.
I see. I see.
And
That's
so
pretty cool.
it's what we refer to as a work. It's like, yeah, these guys are quote unquote wrestling, but in the end, it's like the strong man's always gonna win because
Because
he's
he's the
strong
one
man.
that they
He's the
can't give
strong
up.
man.
They
Yeah,
can't give up
yeah.
money too.
Or they just put on a good show between the strong man and their plant.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
To make things a bit more exciting.
Yeah. So moving on, like maybe 60 years later, 50 years later, you have wrestling as it is now, where it's a performance. In the early 70s, early 80s, it was still kind of being said like, oh yeah, wrestling is actual wrestling. Like nothing about it is scripted.
Yeah.
Around the 90s, though, Vince McMahon just comes out and says, oh yeah, this is actually sports entertainment. So he clearly clarifies that, this is actually, everything is planned, everything's scripted.
Wait,
Mm.
you're telling me wrestling's fake?
I'm sorry.
Oh, man, that's,
No,
that's
but
tough to hear.
there is I wouldn't say it's fake. I would say
Yeah.
everything is predetermined. But
Yeah.
the way we get there, the journey.
Yeah, I mean
is
the
more
stunts are
important.
real.
Yeah,
the,
the
Yeah,
stunts
yeah,
are
yeah.
real.
action's
Of course,
The
of course.
action is
That's
real.
all
Like
physicality.
hasn't
Yeah.
someone died on the ring before? Wasn't that like a thing?
It was.
The
it
Undertaker
was.
thrice. Does that count?
Amazing.
They buried
So
him in
true.
Buried him
cement.
alive.
So
Yeah.
true.
We
so
saw
true.
him die.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
How
s-
could that be fake?
Well, someone died and didn't come back. Well, like wasn't there someone that like happened like maybe 20 years ago?
No, not even.
Not
It
that.
was quite recent. Actually.
You're kidding.
What?
Like, I remember this being in the news.
Oh man.
It was in the news. In respect to the wrestlers, I won't say who it was.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair. That's fair.
But yeah, it happened. I think a couple of years ago, and it was in Mexico.
That's. Oh yeah. No. You're right. I did see this on the news.
Yeah, and lucha Mexican wrestling is actually really safe.
Hmm.
But it was just complications with the guy that died, in the sense that he had pre-existing injuries,
Yeah.
and he didn't really watch
no.
out for it when it
Oh,
actually
no.
happened.
That's really a shame.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, everything is real in
Uh-huh.
terms of what you see in the ring.
Yeah. What's happening is real.
What's happening is real.
Yeah.
But in terms of the storylines, like, yeah, it's scripted.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fantastic.
That's fair.
Quick
Johnny.
question, Marco. When did you find out that wrestling was scripted?
When my classmate told me in like second grade.
Oh,
Second grade?
Second
Wow, that was really
grade.
early, dude.
Yeah.
I fought for realness for a long time.
It's okay. It's good to believe in things, man.
it is.
Yeah, they had a warning trailer. It's like
Yeah,
they show that because it's
Yeah.
real.
Like things got a little out of control. There was one point where I think Edge was gonna have sex with Lita.
I remember
the
that.
ring, and I was like,
man, yeah.
this is kind of. I'm 7. This is kind of silly.
What? I thought it was crazy. In a
First
good
of all, it
way.
was crazy.
It is
in
crazy.
a good way.
It was
in the
crazy.
best way.
It was crazy.
Look at that. She's a mad lad. That's real. That's real
Yeah,
passion.
man.
Yeah,
The
fair
night-
enough. Man. There was real passion.
Yeah, it was.
And also that like Kane took up lead at one point and just got her pregnant and no one stopped her. Like I had a lot of questions
Oh,
growing
man,
up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like how did this 7-foot grown man on TV pick up this other guy's woman and then just impregnate her? So like I don't know, man.
Oh,
I
man,
didn't see the
don't-
That's how
math.
you make babies.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, like there was a storyline where Triple H kidnapped Stephanie McMahon, literally drugged her, and then kidnapped her.
How
So-
funny the storylines have got. It's kind of like
Yeah.
doesn't it kind of remind you of like TV series in the states,
Teleserias?
teleserias? Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
drugging and the kid and the marrying on stage and the people stopping
man.
the wedding with people coming back to life. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I mean, like in the end, what I like to tell other people who aren't used to wrestling is that if you like watching soap operas or like telenovelas from Korea on your television, well, wrestling is the male equivalent of that.
with backflips.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
backflips.
So-
It's
front
cooler.
flips,
So
it's
you're
cooler.
kind of gonna want to
Yeah.
get into that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I got so many questions. Can I start?
Yes, go.
Sure, go ahead, man.
How much can you see through that mask?
I can see
That's a
pretty
good
well.
question.
I use the power of justice to
Yes.
look through the veil.
Oh yeah, please tell us
Wait.
more about your who you are, or should I say your character?
Yeah,
It's not a
Revo
character, he's a
Revolution?
Revo Ranger.
My name
Revo
is-
Ranger.
My name is Revo Ranger. My character is Revo Ranger.
Amazing. Where are you from, Revo Ranger? What is your
I-
origin story? Give
my-
us everything.
He's born in the
You don't know.
anvils of justice.
All right.
Go.
I am the defender of the planet Earth,
God, fucking love it.
This is amazing.
Keep going.
and I use the power of the crowd, their energy.
Mm.
So, what I usually do when I want to put away an opponent for good is I will raise my hands and ask the crowd for their power. So I'll be like, citizens,
Oh my god.
lend me your power, and then they'll raise their hands, a la Goku, Spirit Bomb.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was gonna say. So you're Goku?
I wouldn't say I'm Goku, but it was effective for him, so I figure it's effective for me too.
That's excellent logic.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Keep going.
So yeah, raise my hands. They send me their power using their hands, and then I just turn around and wreck my opponent.
How you slap him? in
How
the
do you
face? Like,
wreck-
What's
how do
the
you-
wrecking move, bro?
Yeah, what's-
Okay, so I have a couple of special moves. So there in wrestling we have signature moves and
Yeah.
we
Of
have
course.
finishers, right?
Yeah.
For my signatures, I usually do a Revo punch, which is a Superman
Yeah.
punch.
Amazing.
A Revo kick, where I do a super kick,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And I do this thing where I get them in a fireman's carry,
Okay.
Okay.
and then I turn it into a spine buster. And a spine buster is when, imagine taking a person up, like lifting them, like you guys are face to face. You lift them by his lower body and then slam him on his upper body.
Yeah.
You fall with him. That's a spine buster. So I get him on my shoulders, fireman's carry,
All right.
twist him around, and then bam.
Wow.
That's called the Revo Buster.
Would you mind if we like added clips of that? Like
No.
with
I was gonna say.
Sure. I can.
Can you Revo Buster Marco after this?
Yeah,
absolutely, dude.
sure.
We'll do it just now. We'll do it right now.
We'll do it
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
We'll do it later.
Yeah.
Amazing,
And then my
amazing.
finisher is the Revo charged. Sorry, the Revo charge driver. So
Okay.
when the reason why it's called charge driver is because I raise my hands.
Oh,
and
that's when you get the power.
get the power from the people,
Yeah.
and then it is basically it's like a suplex. So I
Yeah.
lift them up in the air,
Mm.
and then I turn them around, and then I slam them on their back, and I
That's-
sit down with them.
That's kind of tough.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
lately I've been using it in a varied offense. So I get them up on the corner. I go up with them to the corner.
Ah.
I give them a superplex. So it's a suplex from the top rope,
Mm-hmm.
and then I roll over them, and then I carry them up into a charged driver.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, amazing.
We
I
can
wa-
show clips of that.
Yeah,
later.
please.
Yes.
We were
Yeah.
absolutely gonna link them. I was gonna say because your special move is crowd based. Is there any point that like, what if you're just completely on fire and you're scheduled not to win, but the crowd is going
Yeah,
so
oh, that's a
crazy?
good
You kind of
question.
give like someone a back and forth eye move. You're like, guys, this is my day, dude. Look at them. They're going nuts, and you
I
just.
am Revo
I'm
charged.
rebel
baby.
charged to the max, bro. I can feel it in my fingertips.
Oh man, yeah, it's happened before.
Yeah?
But we are, after all, professional wrestlers.
I love it. Yeah,
Of course.
And at the end of the day, when the booking team tells you that, hey, the other guy is going over, you let him go over, because at the end of the day, you are still a performer.
I
Yeah.
see.
once,
Mhm.
And you are a professional, and you're also giving it in the hope and also in the understanding that you're building the story.
Right.
I see.
So if
Okay.
the crowd is on fire and is cheering for you, imagine what they will feel like towards the other guy who wins. Because then, if the
It
other
still
guy-
contributes.
Yeah,
It still
yeah.
contributes.
Because then now they either have two feelings for the other guy. Either they admire the other guy for beating their,
Such a beast.
Their hero, yeah.
or they hate that guy's guts.
Right.
And depending on the character, it goes both ways.
And it's good for Philippine Wrestling Revolution either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What are the day-to-day activities of like a professional wrestler?
Yeah, I
in
was
the
gonna get into
Philippines?
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
For me,
Like you get up in the morning, you breathe justice, like you
oh,
shit out
yeah,
honor.
definitely. So yeah, what? I mean, that's a way to put it. For me, I have a job
Mm.
where I am fighting for justice.
Mm.
Right. So it's an 8-hour job fighting for justice. So in the mornings, I wake
God.
up, I do a quick workout, calisthenics, all of that.
Calisthenics?
I bike to my job,
Mm.
bike and patrol the streets.
That's very Revo Ranger of you.
And then at
Mm.
the end of the shift, I bike back to my gym.
Mm.
I work out in my gym.
Mm.
It's like 3 hours of workout.
3 hours.
Yeah, so 2 hours of it is 1 hour is complete stretching. At the end of the
Wow.
That makes
day,
sense.
another hour is
2
just-
hours of stretching.
just workout. I mean, like you have cardio, you have stretching.
Right.
Cardio,
Okay,
stretching,
okay,
then weightlifting, and then the third one, it depends on the day. Sometimes I do boxing.
Okay.
Sometimes I do jiu-jitsu, and sometimes lately I've been doing a bit of yoga or gymnastics.
Awesome.
Oh, so cool.
I actually was you kind of tackled all of them, but that's really what I wanted to ask. Like on a physicality aspect. Obviously there's the part where you practice the script and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But how much of your physical training goes into? Well, you already touched into it a little bit, right? But I kind of want to talk about it more in like the WWE sense, because
Okay, okay.
you look at people and who's my example? Like Shawn Michaels, he's a sexy boy, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
They're all super jacked, like bodybuilders. Is that something you have to try to aspire to while keeping sort of like the nimbleness of a gymnast? Because it's kind of a hard thing to balance,
it
right?
is. It is a very hard thing to balance, and
Mm.
it's a very good question. Um, in the 80s and then I guess somewhere in the 90s too, 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s, not really 60s, but there was a bodybuilding trend. If you
Yeah.
in the 70s,
Yeah, the Arnold
especially.
Schwarzenegger,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
That's
Gold's
it.
Gym just came out, and everyone's just on the the weightlifting high.
Yeah.
So the idea was you had to be really jacked, right? And then towards the 90s, you could actually see that kind of drop down because you
Okay.
had people coming out from all ways of life.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
as of late, it doesn't really matter the way you look.
Right.
Like you look at Kevin Owens, he's he's a bit of a he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a
Right.
big boy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But that doesn't stop him from being one of the best wrestlers in the WWE roster.
Right. I was gonna say like we can kind of template the average wrestler's physique based on Ric Flair himself. You know, like in
Yeah.
the '70s
Yeah.
when he was a big time big
Yeah.
boy, and all of a sudden he's got like
Hulk Hogan.
he's really slowed down. Like his nipples got lower and lower.
Yeah.
But his electrifying slaps never
Oh,
left,
yeah,
baby.
no.
Like, his woo just got louder.
They did.
It
They got
did,
louder
dude.
over time.
Oh, dude. Oh, amazing.
That's
Oh,
pretty cool.
so
So
good.
so now like the physical, well, I mean the physical image, it's really more based around your character than anything else.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you still also have to have the cardio and
Of
the
course.
physicality to withstand. Like if someone's gonna give you a suplex, you have to be able to take it. Or if you're gonna take a move or a finisher, you still have to be able to take it.
Yeah, you have to lift people up and slam them down. What's the hardest thing about training for that? Do you do standard weights or do you practice by literally lifting people up and slamming
Yeah,
them
give
down?
us the wrestler's workout because some of us have
Okay.
dreams.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
All right, great. Never too late to join. By the way, Marco.
Oh, amazing.
We have boot camps every year.
My wrestler name is gonna be Sissy Pretty.
Ah,
Like I slap people around and I give them a little candy after. Like
we don't have we don't have that kind of character yet. So
Exactly,
there's a
dude.
niche there that
Exactly,
might
bro.
need filling.
I'm there, man.
Sissy pretty.
Sissy Pretty. Yo, say hello to Sissy Pretty.
Yeah. When it comes to training for lifting people around, it's actually it's not that different from Olympic weightlifting. So
Oh.
or weightlifting in general. If you can bench, if you can do a squat press, you can do a military press. It's not that different. It's mainly training when you're actually, fighting somebody, or
Right.
wrestling somebody, and just making it look like it's real.
Yeah.
Mm. If you're the hero for justice, do you have an enemy that is the totem of evil?
Yeah.
Yes!
There is a
course.
there is a stable, a group of people. They are called the End Game.
The end game.
Yeah,
big.
and it's headed by this mad scientist. He has a PhD in wrestling.
Oh my god.
His name is
Oh.
Jan Evander. He is
Jan Evander.
I will say this about Jan Evander. He is a very strong opponent. He has the intellect to prove that
He's a
has,
PhD.
he has a PhD. You can't fight that. You know what I'm saying? You have that, and under him you have the fighting gamer Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I mean, you can scout all his moves while you're playing Street Fighter. So it's good. It's good information, good knowledge to have. And they used to have this guy called the Apocalypse, and he was
Wow,
like this
that's
big
intense.
big dude that had a mask
Okay.
on, like a really scary mask. Imagine Pocahontas oak tree.
That is
Oh, that is
terrifying.
pretty scary in real
That is
life.
yeah, that's terrifying.
Old lady giving you advice about love. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, oh my, that was scary in the movie. It was terrifying. Okay.
He was scary because like he would do this move. He would take you by your hand. Like he'd slap you first, take you by your hand, and then he would walk the top rope.
Then the colors of the wind would play. And a handsome blonde John Smith would just make out with you on the spot.
Oh, gosh.
Dastardly.
So-
What a villain.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry. The image came, I had to say it.
But yeah, and then the last one, which I do have a match with this coming November 24.
Exciting
in
times.
The Power Max Spotlights Theater
Where's that? Where's
in
that?
Circuit Makati.
All right, everyone write that down.
Yeah,
We'll be there.
These shows at 2 p.m.
If there's a
You
link,
guys
we'll
wanna
put a
watch?
link in the description below.
Sure, that
Yes,
sounds
we'll
great.
do that.
Yeah, so I'm fighting. His name is Alexander Belmonte III,
Sure. Okay.
and he and I are fighting on November 24. He used to be the All Out War champion, so it's like our hardcore belt.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he joined Endgame earlier this year. He fought them. There was like a 3v3.
Okay.
He used to be in an old group called The Network, which is like a multi-level marketing.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a multi-level
Oh my
marketing
God.
scheme.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good.
So like when they'd come in, they'd ask you open-minded.
Open-minded
Kaba.
kebab.
Good stuff. It was good stuff.
Amazing.
But yeah, they lost, and the stakes were that Alexander AB3 would join the Endgame. So now he's in the Endgame.
Amazing.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's
I love
pretty
that they took real life like annoying dudes and made them into a super villain in a wrestling thing.
Oh man, yeah. Like a lot of wrestling is based in real life,
That's true.
but it's dialed up to like 100.
Yeah. I've got one. Can me and Marco come in as the intro boys? And we're just hard trash talkers. The hardest trash talkers, but then when things go south, we run away.
I mean, that's actually pretty good. I will keep that in the back of my head if ever I need
The
to.
intro boys, we're so good at trash talking. That's all
That's
we
it.
do.
And we can and they can beat us up after. That's
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
like we can rile them up, you know, just like
Again,
beat-
we're the intro boys. That's all we're good at.
we're only good at talking. And our friends have to back us
Yeah.
up after.
Okay, I got it.
We have one carry.
You guys can be the intro boys, but you also have to be really good in the first like minute.
Yeah.
minute or two.
We're hyper
amazing,
flashy.
Amazing if doing flips and shit and immediately gets pinned after.
There.
Like triple backflip off the
Into a
corner
pin. Into
into
a
our own
pin.
faces, gets and then we pin ourselves. That's how
Yeah.
bad we are.
So
Amazing.
that would be the best way of doing the intro boy gimmick.
Okay. Perfect.
Amazing. Ugh.
We'll start practicing.
So, like, is this a long time dream come true? Like, I think a lot of people, especially when you were younger, always wanted to do this. Like,
Yeah.
How did you make the jump? What were you doing before? If you were doing anything before this?
Okay, that's a good question. I was actually a actor slash,
Oh.
and I used to do a lot of judo as well.
Oh, so it's kind of perfect.
Yeah. So when the word got out that hey, you can actually join the boot camp or the training,
Oh,
I'm like,
cool.
All right, sure, I'll give it a try. I'm a big fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm a big fan of WWE. I'll give it a shot, and I did, and now I'm Revo Ranger.
That's awesome. I was just gonna ask, how much acting training do you have to do? Do you have to do like improv or actual like theater training?
Okay.
And how long is the training, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay. Let's tackle that question.
Of
first.
course, of course.
Okay.
So when it comes to the acting aspect, in the ring, even though they're punching you or they're kicking you or you're getting hit or you're doing the slam, everything is supposed to be safe, right?
Right.
At the end of
Yes.
the day, everyone's watching out for each other. But
Yeah.
also, you have to make it look like it's
Devastating. There's
Devastating.
Of
impact
course,
in the
of
movement.
course.
Yes.
Exactly. So with that, you have to remember like where your opponent has been focusing their attacks. You know, if they focused on your leg the entire match, and then towards the end, like, okay, I'm gonna win now, so I have to like do my moves on this guy. You can't forget that your leg is
That guy's
is
leg
messed
just
up.
took a
It
beating.
hurts.
Yeah, your legs
Yeah.
hurt. Your legs hurt, or your leg hurts. So
Ah.
you always have to remember, or you have to keep in mind, like what would I do if this part of my body hurt? And then
Right.
you have
okay.
that. You have like your reactions every time you get slammed, every time you get hit, and then you also have to remember like what your character is feeling at that moment. So, like,
I
do I
see.
not like this guy? Do I have a respect for this man? When I am winning, do I offer a hand? The handshake. Do I, just snob him? It's a lot of that.
All right.
A lot of
Getting deeply into
Yeah,
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touching again on character design. For example,
Okay.
the mask and the gloves. How did you design?
Yeah, how did you
that?
come up with it? Like everything.
I'm a big Super Sentai fan. I'm a big Power
Wait, did
Rangers
you say?
fan.
What did you say?
Sentai?
I heard super hentai.
Oh, man.
I was
And I
gonna
was
be
like,
like,
wait,
my
whoa.
man, bro.
I
Respect.
didn't think it was possible to respect you anymore. Just maximum respect.
Yeah, dude. Hashtag Hen
Yeah.
Squad.
Hence squad. It's one of
Yeah,
our
we're,
things.
we're still on it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big Power Ranger fan, big Super Sentai fan,
Okay.
and like I basically wanted to be a Power Ranger.
That's awesome. Revo. Yeah. Okay.
Revo Ranger.
Revo for PWR. Is that
Yes,
I
exactly.
just got it. That
Exactly.
piece. My God.
Mm.
Yeah.
The pieces all coming together.
So you have that. And sorry, what is the rest of that question?
How did, like, for example, do you take it to someone? Do you design it yourself? Do you sketch it out?
Right. So my fiance actually
Oh,
helped me
cute.
out.
Justice found love.
Justice found
Oh
love.
my
Yeah,
God.
exactly.
Lady Liberty
So
herself.
she made the first design for the first mask. This is actually version 2.
Awesome.
And
Mm.
version 1 was a bit of a hit and miss.
Okay.
Like it looked good, but I would be able to see through it using the powers of justice. But if
course.
ever somebody altered my vision, like the mask was
Slightly off.
slightly
You're
off,
done for.
then I was basically wrestling blind.
That
because
is
the
so tough.
Power of justice only works in one direction.
Ah.
100%.
All right.
So yeah, we had that, and in version 2, we changed the materials. We learned from the mistakes of version 1, and it's never been better.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and
That's really awesome.
You should see the entire costume. This is just gloves and mask.
Is it full spandex?
Used to be full spandex. Then we moved to a material that is used in scuba diving material.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is anyone in like speedos still, like trunks?
There are some people who just wear speedos. There's one guy called Capitan Tutan.
Oh,
That's exactly why you think. It's
My
exactly
God.
what you think.
Strong.
Exactly what you think.
So strong.
He comes out in red speedos. Red speedos. It's the best.
Because Johnny, I think, wanted to bring up, he has a black Speedo with tiger stripes on it.
yeah, triple golden tiger claw.
That would-
So
that
that
would
could have
be-
been something.
Yeah, I
that's
know.
definitely something.
But
yeah.
bright red
How do
speedos
you
are pretty
how do you
intense.
beat
Capitan
Capitan
Tutan.
Capitan Tutan? Tough.
I know.
It really is.
Roughly translate for our international audience. That means Captain Sex.
Straight up, just straight up Captain Sex.
Captain-
Like this dude just fucks.
yeah.
That's all he's there for.
Yeah, he's
Is
really
he a
good.
bad guy?
He used to be a good guy. He used to be part of.
He used to be a real captain. Now all he does is fuck.
So he used to be part of this.
Oh,
Oh no.
my
Hello?
mistake. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. He used to be part of this stable called the Naughty Boys, and
Fair enough.
you had it's like I'm not sure how to explain their group. It's kind of like they're best friends. They're two best friends. It's like a mini company. They have a Grab driver. His name is Grab Camus.
His name's what?
Camus.
Wait, is
but
he a wrestler?
He actually is. Yeah.
That's a driver.
That's their driver. Their old security guard used to be Capitan Tutan.
Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Who comes up with this storyline?
I was amazed because some of this was like, as you were saying this, you had these two boys. They're in a young company, and me and Mark were just looking at each other like, wait a minute, we've seen this before.
yeah. And then you said you had a driver. You're like, oh, that's not us. Like, we can't afford a driver.
Yeah, like, oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, who's that? Is it like have a storyboard team, or like, do you guys all come up with it together? Do you guys contribute? Because you guys are the most in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd say you have a pretty big say in what your character would do.
You're right. Is there like a director?
Yeah, is there
Yeah.
a back and forth? Like,
So there is a booking team. So they are the guys that come up with the storylines, and they are also the people that will give you the directions of your match. So, like, okay, this guy is going to win, and this is how he might win.
Oh, okay.
Or during the match, this guy will come into your match and interrupt it. They're the ones that give you the instructions. Up
The
and
field
down.
curating of the thing.
Or basically the outline.
And
Mm.
then you guys kind of fill in exactly how you get through that outline.
we fill in the
Oh,
blanks.
that's a nice back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
make sure we get to points A, B, C, and D, and you guys practice and improvise on the way there.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it works.
That is so cool.
But if ever you have a disagreement with how it's going to
Yeah.
go, you can still talk to the booking team. So you still have a major say because you
Right.
still are the person doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it varies from company to company. For our company, since we're still young, it's pretty simple to just talk to booking and find a way, like a compromise. But if you're in WWE and they have their own writing team,
Yeah.
Right.
You don't
Uh,
have much say, I guess.
yeah, and that's why a couple of people have already split off. Like say Dean Ambrose.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Dean Ambrose is gone?
Dean Ambrose is gone.
Oh,
and there was
man.
like a really really big kerfluffle
Kerfuffle.
Hey, that was the word of the
Word of the day
day
yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, go on.
over that. So yeah, like the booking leniency varies from company to company.
If you don't mind me asking, how big is Philippine Wrestling Revolution right now?
In terms of
Size. Like, how many wrestlers are you? How many?
How
Okay.
many's on your booking?
Yeah,
Sure,
because
sure,
there's
sure.
SmackDown and Raw for WWE, right? So I just kind of get
Yeah.
my mind around the
okay.
Mm.
In PWR,
PWR. There
we
you go.
have about, I guess, 30 to 40 wrestlers on
Huh.
hand. And
Do you guys vary in age?
yeah, we vary in age. Some people are on the lower bracket, like 20 years old. Some guys are really old, about 36.
Whoa.
Is that old for
34.
wrestling?
It is actually, because the older you get, the harder it is to recover.
Fair enough. You're getting
right.
slammed around.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You're still in the end. You're still getting slammed around. So, if you're if you're getting older, you still have the experience, but the body,
Yeah.
doesn't keep.
It
up
takes a
after a
toll.
while.
It
Yeah,
takes
yeah,
its
does,
toll.
It does.
On the topic of recovery, do you have like a dedicated medical team to help you out, or
On
someone? Yeah.
Yeah, during the shows, we do hire ambulances just
Yeah.
in case.
Yeah.
There have been instances where one of our wrestlers have been seriously
Injured. I was gonna ask.
Yeah, there has been. Like knee popping out of socket type of thing.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Always terrible.
Always terrible to happen. And I think, yeah, that's one of the major ones. I won't say anything else after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have ambulances on hand during the performances. We also have a physical therapy team.
Yeah, that's good.
But in terms of everything else, we're still a fledgling company. in
Yeah,
terms of
so
people
you
Mm.
kind of like take on that weight on your own shoulders.
Yeah. So as much as possible, we be as safe as possible.
All right. What is the worst thing that's either you've been the victim of, or where you've inflicted something upon something else, like
Oh.
something gone wrong, or like you just slammed someone a bit too hard and just like knocked them out or something?
Okay, so with me, I caught a person jumping up. I was outside of the ring, and this person was supposed to jump over the ropes and into our group of people.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And he did do that, but he caught he jumped off, and we caught him, but my finger almost dislocated. So it was like completely like at a different angle.
That
I
sounds dislocated.
It is, but when I went to the ER after the show, after the match, the guy told me that it's not dislocated, but it looks like you're gonna have to get it checked because some of the muscles are out of place. But in terms of
The bone, at least
The
the bone was
bone.
in. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Eek.
so yeah, there was that. And funny story, that was like 5 minutes into the match, and it was like
Oh, man.
a 20-minute match.
Oh man, so you had to deal with it the whole time.
I had to perform the rest
Yeah.
of the match with like
Wow.
a finger out.
Yeah, that's
So-
also what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. So if you look at the pictures of that show, you can actually I do
Ah,
this.
you-
I do palm strikes, right? So
Right.
it's open. It's an open hand. You can actually see some of the pictures where like my ring finger is at a different angle.
Oh, damn. Well, cheers to your sportsmanship, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What about the guy whose knee popped out? Did he? Did he truck
No,
on?
he couldn't. Like at a certain point, like with a hand, you can still continue.
Yeah, with a knee you can't move.
With a knee, you can't move. So what happens is the ref will throw up an X.
Yeah.
So he'll put his arms together and like throw up an X. That is the universal sign of
I can't do it.
This
Like,
guy's
tap out.
Yeah, this guy's done.
Yeah.
So they're gonna bring in medics, all
Right.
that, the whole 9 yards.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, you spoke earlier today in our positivity corner of a positive fan experience. Have you had a negative one where like
Like, I hate justice. Go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
fuck justice. God, my father was a criminal. I'm a criminal. I hate you.
How dare you?
Yeah. Gotcha. Negative fan experience or negative experience in wrestling in general?
Hit us with either.
Yeah, both.
I've never actually had a negative experience. Nobody really messes with the guy that is all smiles and like
And it's
justice.
justice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like who would do that?
No one tried to trip you up. Like, it was a blind guy.
Oh,
that tried to
there
trip
is
you.
one guy I can think of, and he has a PhD
In
in
wrestling.
evil.
Gerrymander.
Oh, this dude! Oh my god!
But yeah, you have that. But in terms of a negative experience, okay, so wrestling, especially wrestling in the indie scene, in the
Yeah.
independent scene, is all about trust
Yeah.
on
Mm.
the other wrestlers.
Right.
So if the trust is betrayed, it's a little bit hard to, like, it's hard to recover.
Yeah, no, I
especially
get
during
it.
a match.
I get it.
And like, so one of the things is when you're doing a match, sometimes people talk before a match.
Yeah.
In our case, it was a 6-man match. So, everyone has to know what exactly is going to happen.
Yeah.
In this case, we were told that this guy's just gonna jump off the corner.
Right.
For us, like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll catch you. But during the actual show, he does something that I won't say what it is
Okay.
because it's bad publicity. But he does do something a little bit off kilter, and
Like whip his dick out.
no.
Was it Kapitan Tutan?
Back at it again.
Did he just start
Capitan
humping
Tutan.
you?
Yeah. So he does that thing, and suffice to say, it doesn't turn out very well for the entire
Yeah.
match, and in the end, it's also the show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, it's rough to talk about, but yeah, that was one of the biggest negative experiences I had. That's also the match where I broke a finger.
Oh,
so
that sucks. So
It's a
Yeah.
double whammy.
That
Yeah.
could be
Just
the
not a
reason.
good wrestling day for
Not a good
justice.
wrestling day for
Yeah.
justice.
Damn.
Lost the match too. So.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Justice suffered that day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
you
Oh
bet.
man. Wait, sorry. Quick question. Can we go back to Kapitan Tutan? What's his signature move?
Yeah, please. Like, I've also been thinking about Capitan Tutan.
I have not stopped thinking
Ah.
about him since you mentioned. Does he just like start humping you or something? I don't know.
No. Nothing like that.
Does he stick like two
Look,
fingers up your? I don't know.
I'm getting pretty creative in my
I
head.
know,
Like,
there's-
there could
there's
be a lot.
So many
There's a
things
lot
he
of
can
things
do.
you can do, man.
Yeah.
No, the joke's only in the naming convention.
So he doesn't do the the Kama Sutra slam or something.
No, but he does like, gosh, he has a couple of signatures.
Or like he has some
Um,
weird, you choke him and he likes it sort of thing. Like he's impervious to all chokes because it only makes him stronger.
Like if you see
That's
the
so
guy,
good.
you'll understand why his name is Kaptutan.
He has a giant dick.
You can just see it through his
Yeah,
bright
he has
red
this-
okay,
speedos.
alright.
Just say he has
That's
a giant
okay.
dick, dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. But
Kapitan Tutan.
no, but it's funny because there was once a time where he was in a match with the then champion Ralph Imabayashi.
All right.
And-
That's a respectable name.
Yeah, Ralph Imabayashi. He was a bit of a heel at the time. He was a bad guy.
Yeah.
And there was one portion of the match where the ref is distracted
Okay.
because they usually are.
Of course.
And he tries to do a full penalty kick on Cap Tutan's, his family jewels.
Monster dong.
Of course. This was yeah.
So he kicks Cap Tutan, and Cap Tutan just kind of goes like, ah! And then Ralph just starts clutching his shin and just starts because apparently the set in Cap Tutan is so hard that
Of course.
Ralph just couldn't kick it. It's just
That's
like,
amazing.
It's too strong.
Yeah.
It's,
The force of resurrection broke
Is there like an
someone's
Instagram
shin.
that you guys have with all your highlights? I want to link like all of the things you
I
said.
know.
Okay. We have you can check out our Instagram, Philippine Wrestling Revolution. It's pretty easy. Just PWR official.
Can I ask you really quick because I think we're gonna end a little bit we're gonna end a little bit soon. Is there female representation in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, please get into that. Like, how are they? What are their storylines like?
So the female wrestling has been, it's been growing in our company for a while.
Awesome.
Our first couple of wrestlers were actual wrestlers were Crystal and Nina.
Crystal and Nina.
Yeah, and Crystal nowadays is actually a champion of one of the promotions in India.
Awesome.
So she's an international wrestler. She's wrestled in Japan, Thailand,
Wow.
Very cool.
Singapore.
Yeah.
So
that's
she's
cool.
she's been making the rounds, and yeah, you can tell she has a lot of experience under her belt. Nina, due to some complications, had to take a hiatus.
Okay.
Was always working with the company, and then she trained in the U.S. with the Santino brothers,
Whoa.
and that was pretty good for her.
Wait. The Santino brothers? I sent the guy with the sock.
I mean, one of them.
There's
That's
another
sick.
one. That's
Yeah,
cool.
they're really good. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
They're amazing.
Yeah. Jesus. I love that guy.
And shout out to Nina. She really improved. Her wrestling is a lot better now. Aside from them, aside from Nina and Crystal, we do have two other ladies. Three other ladies. One of them is Jay Sarah. So imagine Becky Lynch with a little bit of Ronda Rousey.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, she's really strong. You should see her give suplexes to the other guys.
That's awesome.
But you wouldn't tell. She's very very attractive young woman. But when she gives you a suplex, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I
And
wonder
then-
what happens to Capitan Tuta.
I know. I was gonna say.
Oh, you man, we're on it, dude. This is
I
our
know.
guy.
I know.
Cap only thinks about wrestling. That's his tagline.
That's what gets him hard. what a genius!
Oh my god.
Oh, I love this
Res-
guy so much.
Like his tagline is wrestling lang ang iniisip ko. That's
That's good.
All right, got it.
I love
I
it.
got it. And the other two, Robin. Robin has been one of our female wrestlers for a long time. She came in after Crystal and Nina. And yeah, she's basically punk rock.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Punk rock personified in a female wrestler. Last one is Jermelin.
Jeremy then.
Man, things went downhill after the NBA. He's now the
man.
best women's wrestler in Philippine history. What the
Poor
fuck?
Jermelin. The Knicks really.
They really-
messed him
Oh
up.
man,
It's never been the same.
Did him dirty.
No, yeah, Jermelin has what used to be part of the Naughty Boys, that stable of people. And yeah, now she's like the star of PWR. She's been to
Cool.
Thailand. She has trained in Thailand, I think in Japan too.
Awesome.
And so she has a little bit of a Joshi background. Joshi's like female wrestler in Japan.
That's
Joshi.
pretty cool. That sounds
Yeah.
cool.
And yeah, it's like she comes out like an idol. Like a
Oh, that's nice.
Like a pop idol in
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
that's
whole
fun.
kawaii thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole kawaii thing.
Yeah,
Whole
man.
kawaii
I
thing.
love it, dude. We're going to check her out later.
Yeah.
All right.
Squad.
There
We
you go.
hit the 47-minute mark, 48.
Oof.
Do you have any closing remarks, John? For
Before
our-
we do, let's toss it over to Revo Ranger. Plug away.
Okay, so for all you guys listening out there, please tune in. Not tune in, sorry. Please come to our show. The next show is at November 24. It's to cap off the year. We don't have a show in December. It's called PWR Vendetta. You can,
Ooh.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So it sets up everything for the following year after our break, and you can come and watch at the Power Mac Spotlight Center Theater in Circuit Makati. Tickets are priced at around, I think, $350, but you can check out our Facebook page, which is PWR, or Philippine Wrestling Revolution. You can just search up the Facebook page on your browser. It's easy to find. We are pretty popular these days.
And we'll
Awesome.
also link all these links in the show description, so don't worry about it too. You could just click below and
There you
you'll
go.
be
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
there.
Also, like my page.
For sure.
Just go to Revo Ranger, PWR.
That's awesome. We will also plug that as well. Also in the show description. Don't worry about it.
Also, I just wanted to say, man, on behalf of for me and Johnny, we both loved wrestling growing up. It's
Yeah.
amazing to have a guest like you
Oh,
here. It's amazing to hear
gosh.
your story.
I
It's
know.
it's wonderful. You know, it's a lot of dreams come true for both of us.
I know.
Oh man, like you should come and watch the show.
I
we will.
We 100% will.
We will. Me
Okay.
and Marco have not stopped smiling this
Yeah,
entire
I've noticed. Yeah.
dude. Oh.
It's gonna
Like
be a lot of
I don't know
fun.
who I want to see more. The evil doctor, like
He's got a PhD.
Yeah.
the PhD, Capitan Tudum with his
Oh.
own PhD.
I mean, a plug to my mortal nemesis Jan Evander. He is fighting for the All Out War Championship against our very own Martivo, a gay wrestler.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
comes out with a rainbow flag and everything.
That's amazing.
I wish I asked about that. Damn, dude.
Yeah, I know. We'll be there to trash talk your mortal nemesis. Don't worry.
great. Awesome.
It's our intro as the intro boys.
All right,
Sounds
you know,
good.
Before we
yeah.
open.
we're gonna sign off. This is Marcus Suarez,
Johnny Altamanta.
And Revo Ranger.
the
Oh.
Revo Ranger.
Yeah. Before we actually sign off, 1 second. Like, subscribe on all our social media channels. Instagram @scrapyard.ph, TikTok @scrapyard.ph, Facebook @scrapyard.ph, and YouTube. Please subscribe. Also, special shout out to Nico Guidotti for sharing and just being a general fan. We love you guys.
Awesome. We love you, Revo Ranger.
We love you, Revo Ranger.
I love you too.
Yeah.
And
yes.
we love
Yes.
justice.
Yes.
Love
Bye,
justice.
guys.
Bye.
Scrapyard.